Hey, welcome everyone, and thank you for taking the time to learn more information about the grade 8 to 9 transition. We are finding interesting ways like this to connect and engage with grade 8 students and families during this exciting time of transitions. This session will assist you in making informed choices about courses, programs, and schools by highlighting program pathways available throughout the Toronto District School Board.
We acknowledge we are hosted on the lands of the Mississaugas of the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Wendat. We also recognize the enduring presence of all First Nations, Métis, and the Inuit peoples. I'd like to introduce our Associate Director of Leadership, Learning, and School Improvement, Andrew Gold, and our central team supporting the grade 8 to 9 transition, which includes the Guidance, Career Development, and Student Wellbeing Department, and the Secondary Program and Admissions Department, which is comprised of Lisa Edwards, Centrally Assigned Principal, Equity, Wellbeing, and School Improvement, Reiko Fuentes, Centrally Assigned Principal, Secondary Program and Admissions, Dr. Renee Rollins, Coordinator, Guidance and Career Development, Equity, Wellbeing, and School Improvement, Bianca Angeloni and Priya Mistry, Assistant Coordinators, Guidance, Career Development, and Student Wellbeing, Equity, Wellbeing, and School Improvement. Now I would like to invite Andrew Gold, Associate Director of Leadership, Learning, and School Improvement, for his opening remarks.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our grade 8 parents and students. I want to start by thanking our team that works centrally, Renee, Bianca, and Priya, as well as centrally assigned principals, Lisa Edwards and Reiko Fuentes, for being here this evening. During the pandemic, we had to change the ways in which we serve our families. And one of the positive outcomes of that was that providing evenings such as this remotely was something we'd never entertained previously. And the opportunity to give information to thousands of grade 8 students and families at one time is a service that we're thrilled to be offering again this year. I want to thank the many secondary guidance staff that are on the Zoom with us today and are helping answer questions in the Q&A, for also giving you their time. We know what an exciting time it is for our elementary families, our elementary school families, as the journey to high school starts to ramp up. Over the next few months, you'll be receiving lots of information as you get ready to determine which schools your child will attend, and eventually select courses for their grade 9 year. Our central staff, along with their teachers in their elementary schools, our middle year student success counselors, our secondary school guidance counselors, their principals and vice principals are all here to help you during this very important transition time. And this evening is just the start of many opportunities to learn, ask questions, and get support as you make decisions in the months ahead. So welcome again. It's a pleasure to join you and the team this evening.
Thank you. Today, we are also fortunate to be joined by central staff. Jason Toe, Coordinator of Academic Pathways and Secondary Mathematics. Faye Chen, Guidance and Student Success e-Learning. Kirsten Johnston, Coordinator, French as a Second Language, Classical and International Languages. Paula Farina and Wendy Roberts, supporting the Office of Special Education and Inclusion. They will be available to answer questions regarding their respective areas. Also here with us today to assist in answering your questions, we have representation from the following schools. A great big thank you in advance to them for all their support. Let's begin with our top 10 tips and considerations for the transition to high school. The first step in the transition process is finding out the secondary school that your child may attend, which is based on your residential address. To access this information, please go to the link www.tdsb.on.ca/find your school on the TDSB website. When you click on the Find Your School link, you will see a window such as this. In selecting by address, you will find the secondary school for your designated address. Some addresses will also display technical and commercial schools that are available for students who would like to pursue those program areas. Please note that students can access any technical or commercial school in the board through optional attendance. Every home school, that is your school designated by address, will provide a wide variety of academic and extracurricular activities. Now I'd like to pass it to Dr. Rollins, who will be speaking to you on optional attendance.
Number 2 of our top 10 tips is optional attendance. As you just heard, every student has a homeschool linked to their address of residence that will provide rich programming options that support all pathways. Some students may wish to apply to a school elsewhere in the system. This is done through a process called optional attendance. Students may be looking for specific courses or programs, such as a technical or specialized program that is not available at their home school, or to attend a school that better meets their travel needs. Students can apply to 2 regular programs through optional attendance. If a secondary school has spaces available, they will be able to admit students from out of area. If demand for access is greater than the space available, schools will select students through a lottery system. Many schools do not have space available and are considered closed for optional attendance. The information for the upcoming year regarding whether a school is open to limited optional attendance or closed to optional attendance will be found on the TDSB school website landing page. If a school is closed to optional attendance, students will not be admitted. It is important to point out that the system does not know how many spaces may be available through optional attendance. These are the schools that are close to optional attendance in the 2022-2023 school year for their regular program. Please note, it's only in the first week of February when a secondary school will determine how many spaces are available for optional attendance. Here are the key dates for this year's optional attendance process. January 28th is when optional attendance forms are due at the secondary schools. The first week of February is when optional attendance lottery, if required, would be held. February 11th is the deadline for parents or guardians of students to be informed of the status of their optional attendance application. And February 22nd is the deadline to confirm your offer by informing the school, both your current and future school, of your acceptance via email or by phone, and by completing and submitting the corresponding course selection in My Blueprint. Some secondary schools offer specialized programs or are specialized schools that focus on a specific area of interest. All students in Toronto are eligible to apply for these schools and programs. Students may wish to apply for a specialized program if they are looking for a specific focus in a particular area. Students are admitted through an application process and through optional attendance. The TDSB hosts a number of specialized programs in the following areas: Afrocentric secondary programs, arts-focused, cyber arts, elite athletes, integrated technology, international baccalaureate, leadership, and math, science, and technology. Each school has a different application and selection process. This could include an audition, interview, exam, portfolio, for example. Students and families are encouraged to attend the information nights for the specialized programs of interest. Students can apply to 2 specialized programs through optional attendance. On the optional attendance application, you will notice the following section. This means students can apply to 2 regular programs outside of your home school and 2 specialized programs through optional attendance, totaling 4 options. Please note that only the programs listed as specialized programs can be applied to under optional attendance in the first column entitled Specialized Programs in Schools. This can be found on the Specialized Schools and Programs webpage. Number 3 on our top 10 list is secondary alternative schools. Alternative schools are highly engaged, smaller school environments. They use non-traditional hands-on approaches to learn while meeting the required Ontario Ministry of Education curriculum. Each school has a distinct identity and focus, such as democratic education, holistic learning, physical art, mindful living, entrepreneurship, social justice, community outreach, and more. These schools are ideal for students seeking an alternative to mainstream education and who want to take an active role in their own learning. TDSB alternative schools are open and free to any resident of Toronto. Space in alternative schools is limited, and students can apply to attend on optional attendance. The application process is different for each alternative school. To learn more about specific programs and schools, please connect with the school directly. In addition to the previous list of alternative schools, the TDSB Indigenous schools offer a variety of services with the goal of closing the opportunity gap for Indigenous students. This mandate is approached by infusing Indigenous perspectives across the curriculum for all students, as well as providing direct wraparound supports to enhance the overall achievement of First Nations, Métis, and Inuit students throughout the TDSB. If you'd like to learn more about the secondary alternative schools in the TDSB, join us for the virtual Alternative Secondary Schools Fair for grade 8 families. You will hear from each alternative school and participate in a virtual tour of the schools. The Alternative Schools Virtual Fair is taking place on December 15th at 7 p.m. You can find the link to join the webinar next to an alternative school or Indigenous school on the open house page. There are two French pathways in the TDSB, French Immersion and Extended French programs, and this is our fourth topic for today's presentation. Students qualify for the Certificate of Bilingual Studies, French Immersion, upon completion of 10 credits in French. Students qualify for the Certificate of Bilingual Studies, Extended French, upon completion of 7 credits in French. Students may continue with the French Immersion or Extended French program at their designated pathway school. Students have moved into the pathway area of a new French Immersion or Extended French secondary school may transfer there directly, not using optional attendance. Students whose address is not in the pathway area of a given French Immersion or Extended French secondary school would have to submit an application via optional attendance. These are the schools with French Immersion and or Extended French programs that are closed to optional attendance for the 2022-2023 school year. Our number 5 top 10 tip is regarding grade 9 course selections. Students going into grade 9 will take all core courses at the academic or D-streamed level. This includes English, math, science, geography, and French. Students will often take physical education in grade 9 in addition to an arts course and an optional course. To select courses, students use My Blueprint. Let's take a moment to see what course selection using My Blueprint will look like step by step for grade 8 students.
Hello, and welcome to the My Blueprint course selection video series. In this video, we are going to show you how a grade 8 student with TDSB will complete their course selections. Start by visiting www.tdsb.on.ca/find-your/school. Select by address and enter your street name. Note, you will not need to add your full address, simply the street name. Click Search, and this will display your destination secondary school. If you are looking to apply for a specialized program, you might also locate your secondary school by searching using the Find Program option. Upon determining your destination secondary school, simply visit www.myblueprint.ca/TDSB and click the green School Account Login button and enter your TDSB credentials to log into your My Blueprint account. Upon login, simply click High School from the left-hand navigation menu. Click Add Plan and select your destination secondary school from the drop-down menu. Once course selection is open for TDSB students, upon login, students will see the course selection steps appear at the top of their high school grid. Step 1 is to add courses. Click either a subject name or the Add Course button to begin exploring opportunities within that school. Click Add Course to add this to your plan. TDSB students entering grade 9 are expected to select 8 total courses plus 2 alternate courses. Once your student has added all of the courses to their plan, click the blue Review Course Selections button. Step 2 is to officially review the selections. Once the review is complete, select Submit Selections, and upon submission, students are notified of a successful submission to their destination secondary school. Once students have submitted their selections, they may wish to return to the high school plan. Students will notice that the course selection checklist now displays the submission date and time. Students are no longer able to make adjustments to the submitted courses. If changes are needed, students will need to speak to their classroom teacher. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or concerns surrounding My Blueprint, please speak with your student's teacher or email us at support@myblueprint.ca.
For tip number 6, if your child is currently receiving or may require special education support for grade 8 to 9 transition, your child's current school will invite parents, guardians, and students to a school support meeting or an IPRC review meeting. These meetings will occur by January 2022. The team will discuss how best to meet the learning needs of the student transitioning to secondary school. Transition plans will be developed in consultation with the parents, guardians, and student. These transition plans will be personalized for the student, may involve community agencies, partners, will identify specific and realistic goals based on the student's strengths, needs, and interests, will include timelines for actions, and identify the person responsible for supporting the student. During this meeting, the team members will determine supports available in secondary schools and the best placement options for students. Depending on the needs of the student, the support offered may include a special education class offer. This could be intensive support program, including the gifted program, or partial integration, or withdrawal assistance, or the recommendation of a GLE Learning Strategies course. Please note that the GLS Learning Strategies course is available to students who do not have an IEP. Tip number 7, high school is a new and exciting milestone for students. Students have the opportunity to explore their interest and develop a path to post-secondary. Students will be working towards their Ontario Secondary School Diploma, but are encouraged to participate in extracurricular activities that will create a richer high school experience. Students will also have the opportunity to work on their learning skills, learn outside the classroom, take a wide variety of courses, engage in experiential learning, and much more, which will prepare them for their future. Students will be expected to navigate through their timetable, complete assignments, meet deadlines, enhance their self-advocacy skills, learn how to time manage, and how to work independently and with others. As a parent, guardian, or caring adult of a high school student, you will still remain an integral part of your student's academic experience, though they will gain a greater independence. Parents and guardians will have the opportunity to participate on the school council to build a stronger community. Parents and guardians will receive report cards, be invited to parent-teacher conferences, have open communication with their students' teachers, and have the opportunity to observe extracurricular activities when permitted. The school will be a resource for parents and students as they navigate through the Ontario school system. Parents are encouraged to remain involved in their child's high school experience. With respect to timetables, there are 3 timetables that exist in TDSB schools. The semester timetable reflects 4 courses that a student would take for half a year. Semester 1 would take place from September to January, and then students will experience 4 different courses from February to June. The non-semester timetable consists of 8 courses throughout the full year. Students would be experiencing 4 courses one day, then 4 different courses the following day, alternating days, from September to June. The quadmester system splits the school year in 4 parts, roughly 9-week segments. Students will experience 2 courses per day per quad. Each timetable allows the student to earn the opportunity to earn 8 credits. Number 8, you might be wondering, what if my child changes their mind about the admission acceptance at a particular school? Take your time to make your decision. Parents and guardians have until February 22nd to respond to the offer of admission. This includes communicating your acceptance and decline to any offers. If you are certain that your child does not want to attend one or more of the offers that you are given, please inform the school so that the opportunity can be offered to another student. However, if you're uncertain, please take your time and make the best decision for your child. Please note, you can choose to return to your home school at any time. I will now pass it back to Dr. Rollins, who will speak to you about the important dates.
We are at number 9 of our tips and considerations, important dates. Between November and December, you can attend your elementary school virtual transition event if applicable. Between November and January, you're encouraged to attend secondary school virtual open houses and information sessions. Please note that some specialized programs have additional entrance requirements. Please visit the school's website for more information about specific deadlines. January 11th is when grade 8 course selection opens up. On January 28th is when the optional attendance forms are due at the secondary schools. On February 11th is when parents or guardians will be informed of the status of their optional attendance application. And February 22nd is the deadline for grade 8 students to confirm acceptance to a school and to complete and submit their course selection using My Blueprint. Number 10 of your top 10 tips for the transition to high school is our resources. Contact the high schools directly if you have questions about specialized schools or programs, or if you have questions about the special education or additional academic supports that the school may offer next year. Connect with your current school if you have questions about My Blueprint, course selection, or special education offers of placement. Visit our Beyond 8 site for more information about grade 8 to 9 transitions and to access a plethora of resources. The Beyond 8 site, under the course selection link, will give you more information about how to complete course selection using My Blueprint. This brings us to the conclusion of our webinar. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us this evening. The recording of this event will be available on the TDSB guidance page next week. It can be found at www.tdsb.on.ca/high-school/guidance. I would like to thank Margaret Horvath for always supporting the guidance webinars. Thank you to our interpreters for supporting our families this evening. I'd like to thank our secondary guidance counselors and our central staff for assisting with the Q&As this evening. And thank you to the Guidance, Career Development, and Student Wellbeing Department for coordinating this evening's event. Thank you for joining us, everyone, and have a wonderful evening.